guys, welcome back to the digital vlog. I know it's been a while. I've been very busy with work and very busy with a few other things that have just gotten in the way. And I've missed about 4 weeks, and I apologize for that. But I'm back, and hopefully I will return to regular scheduling starting now. This week's vlog is a little bit different. It's kind of special, considering July 7th is my dad and my stepmom's anniversary. It also happens to be a court date for the death/murder of my stepmom. Now that sounds like a huge bombshell. She died on October 25th, 2014. I remember everything super clear. So this is what happened. She was on her way to pick up my sister from a friend's house. They'd been bowling together. And she was about 15 minutes from my high school, 10 if there's not traffic. And I think it was 10 o'clock-ish. It was around like 10 o'clock-ish. And there was a lady who was intoxicated and under the influence of drugs. Drifted across 4 lanes, hit my stepmom, and she was DOA, dead on arrival. The other lady, however, did survive, went to the hospital, and is currently walking the streets of Houston, which kind of sucks. But such is the criminal court system. I remember everything super clearly. I was actually at college, and it was my freshman year of college, so everything was still super new, and this is October. This is what, August, September, October, 3 months into my first semester of college. And my friend Magnus was in a film class, so we were watching a bunch of Studio Ghibli movies, and him and his buddies were analyzing it, and then my other friend Amber and Libby were there. And it was a lot of fun because we were watching some Studio Ghibli movies I hadn't seen yet, and we were watching Spirited Away. And I remember I was sitting on the floor. It was about 1:40 a.m. in the morning because we're college students, and it might have been a Friday night. I was sitting there, and my phone goes off, and I'm like, it's 1:40 in the morning. Who could possibly be calling me? And I pick up my phone, and it's my dad. And I'm thinking, this is weird. I mean, I know he calls me all the time, but this is really out of the ordinary. And sure enough, I answer it, and he's like, what are you doing right now? And I said, I'm with a couple of friends, we're watching some movies. He goes, well, Heather's dead. And I was, excuse me? I literally said, excuse me, and I just kind of lost it. My friend Magnus had followed me out into the hallway because he knew something was up. And I just started crying, and he was the first person I had told that my stepmom had passed away. And he was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And Amber and Libby just thought I was having an episode, which happened. My friend Amber, said goodnight. Libby said goodnight. Walked me halfway back to my dorm room. Actually, no, they walked me all the way back to my dorm room and then went to their dorms, which was across the street. And sure enough, sitting in the commons was Pastor Matthias and Rahema and my friend Leah. We were all sitting there together, and I had a panic attack, and I was devastated. Like, 3 months into college, I was away from home, everything was new. Now my stepmom's gone, and in the most horrific way possible. It was all unexpected, it was all very sudden, and everything just blew up. And so the next day, it was a Sunday, I was gonna go to church, and then I couldn't bring myself to go because I couldn't stop crying. So my friend Magnus came over, and we played Call of Duty most of the day, and then I just started crying because I kept exploding. And then, he left sometime later to go do some things, and then a couple more friends showed up, said they had heard what happened in church, because Concordia is a really tight-knit community, very small town, so if something major happens, people are gonna know. And with a campus like Concordia, a lot of people are really close to each other, and I really like that. And everybody was very kind, and I remember all my professors were very sympathetic, very understanding, and I left, I went home. I came home for the funeral, and it was hard. It was really hard. And I'm explaining all of this because Thursday, tomorrow, July 7th, is the court date. The person who hit my stepmom, her name is Heather Green. Little creepy. When I first heard, I was making all these connections, my brain being the weird anxiety type brain that it is, and the weird way I wire things. First thing I was like, oh my god, her name is Heather, her last name is Green, like Pastor James Green, and Heather, like our Heather. Or she has 2 kids, one was like 8 at the time, and little, they were 2 years apart, I don't remember. I know she was put in jail. Well, she was under arrest at the hospital, obviously, and then they gave her bail, and somebody paid her bail, so she's back out in the streets of Houston. I don't care if you've had 2 drinks, if you've had a shot of tequila, if you drank, if you had any alcohol whatsoever. I don't care if you've waited 2 hours. Have a friend drive you home. Have a designated driver. Call a cab. Don't get behind the wheel drunk. Especially, don't drink and then do drugs on top of it and then go driving. That's even worse. That's what happened in our case. She'd been drinking heavily, and then she was on some type of drug. I don't know what it was. I just know that it had been a type of drug that she had taken and then gone and partied with some friends, and she drifted over 4 lanes and gone. Have a designated driver. Have a plan to get home. If you're a bartender, or you own a bar, or you're a friend of somebody and you go drinking, you go out with them, you don't drink, but they drink, don't let your friends drive drunk. Don't let your friends drive drunk. Bartenders, take away their keys, call a cab, call a police officer to drive them home. You shouldn't, if you're gonna drink and get drunk, if you want to have fun, that's fine. Don't drive. Stay the night at your friend's house. Call your mom, call your dad, call your neighbor. Don't be ashamed to call the local sheriff's department. They're not gonna arrest you for drinking. They'll arrest you for drinking and driving, but they're not gonna arrest you for drinking. And if you're underage, don't drink. Don't drink. Don't drink, period. Unless you're at home with your parents, don't drink. Don't drive while drinking. Simple science. Simple science. Simple logic. Just don't drink and drive. Simple. Take it from somebody who's lost a family member to drinking and driving. It can ruin someone's lives. And you could be tied up in a court case like us. It's been 1.5 years. We've gotten nowhere in the court system. Don't drink and drive. From what I've been doing my best to keep up with the courts and stuff, our court date has been reset 14 times, and we've gotten absolutely nowhere. When we were starting to get somewhere originally, Heather Green's lawyer bailed. He took the money and ran. So she was without a lawyer, and that's what caused some of the issues and some of the resets we've had. And tomorrow, we're skeptical that we're even gonna get anywhere at all. So, I wanted to go. I'm gonna go tomorrow. I haven't wanted to go so far because I don't think I would be able to handle it. Since tomorrow is the anniversary of their marriage, I kind of want to be there for my dad, because that really sucks that the court date just happened to be 7/7, which is when they got married. My stepmom and my dad got married back in July 7th of 2007, 777, the number of perfection, the number that's in the Bible, that's 7 days representing God, and all of that. And I wanted to share something in this video. I wanted to share another video that I've been working on. Back in May, when it was time for me to leave for school again, I got real emotional because my stepmom wasn't there. And her and my dad moved me in my freshman year. And it was really hard moving out freshman year because she wasn't there. And it was really hard moving back up. And I'm getting much better because it has been a year. It'll be 2 years this upcoming October since it's happened. And in May, to help me kind of release some of this stuff and ease my anxieties and fears and all of that, I made a video to kind of help me get through all of it. And I haven't shared it with anybody except for family and a couple of friends. I never finished it. I don't plan on finishing it, but I'd like to share what I do have. Here's that video for you guys. I hope you learned something, or at least got some sort of message out of this. I think the clear message is don't drink and drive. Again, simple logic. Alcohol impairs our functioning. I mean, have you ever worn beer goggles? Jeez. Just wearing beer goggles makes me want to barf. Imagine actually being drunk. Here you go. Ready?
I can't explain enough, and I won't let it last tonight. I'll show you that the image is still there unseen. Getting out, run away. We're tripping on our feet, filling up our heads too much with words too hard to speak, drowning in a place where the night cannot escape. Commit ourselves into the depths, exposed to cancer page. Caught in a phrase, an echo in our minds, a flash, a flood, and it's burning to our eyes. And I can't explain enough.